Welcome to the Movie Madhouse. I'm Rob, and we're having a very special episode tonight because my pod brother, David K. Montoya, has held his second annual Open Contract Challenge. For those who don't know what that is, it's basically what the name says. He has an open contract for anyone who wants to produce something that he can produce. And last year was great, or sorry, the year before was great. This year was even tougher. And I only say that because I don't think Walter knows this, who's going to be our guest here in a second. I was in that challenge, and the people that I saw, I know were talented. So I would like to introduce the winner of the second annual Open Contract Challenge, Walter G. Esselman. Walter, how are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I am always happy. Always.
Why not? You know, it's
Exactly. It's the best way to live, and you're not disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what brought you into the challenge? Like, were you writing before the challenge?
Oh, I've been writing since 1990s, early, like 91. So I've been writing for a really long time, and I got into World of Myth. I started putting in stories there pretty regularly for a long time. And then this contest came up. Actually, I was in the first one too, and got third place. Yep. So, but I figured it was worth another try because hey, you know, what the heck? It's worth a chance. So I actually put in the exact same book, and luck be a lady tonight. So it was pretty cool.
Very nice. So what is the title of the book?
The book is called Super Horror Max. So, fleeing a zombie outbreak, a substitute teacher drives a school bus full of kids into a old abandoned jail. Unfortunately, which is kind of haunted. So, it was actually inspired by Ghost Adventures. There's an episode in the first season, Soundsville Penitentiary, which is a great episode. And the premise is that they get locked inside whatever haunted place they're at. But early on in the show, they go and they interview people about what they've seen, and so it's Moundsville Penitentiary. I changed the name to Soundsville in my book. So Moundsville Penitentiary in West Virginia is this creepy Gothic castle. Like, Hammer Films would all be like, no, that's too creepy. That's gonna so it's totally scary. But then you go across the street and there's all these white picket fence houses in a row. And so Zach Bagans, the great Zach Bagans, goes across the street to interview people to see what they had saw. And I was sitting there watching this like, well, what would happen if something really, really bad happened and you had to rush across the street to hide there in this jail, which everyone thinks is haunted? I mean, what the heck?
I love that.
That was the exact germ of the idea, was that the guy, and I was trying to think of what would run that quickly, and without, we do not have a choice, we got to go, and zombies. Oh well, tried and true.
Exactly.
Zombies are shambling.
I was going to say zombies are the ninjas of horror. That's exactly what they are.
I remember the ninja movies too. Enter the Ninja. I watched all those in the 80s on VHS, no less. So those were
Absolutely.
so much fun.
So how long did it take you to put this book together?
But well, it kind of came through. Actually, a lot of it kind of worked out. I sort of had an idea of where it was all going to go. That that they were gonna. I knew they had to get. I had to get them into the jail, and I knew the jail was haunted, and I kind of just kept upping the stakes from there. But I actually took a character from a screenplay I'd written, Agent Lovecraft, and who's the main character. He's the substitute teacher. So in the
Okay.
story, so except no one knows that for a while. They just think he's a substitute teacher. Is really good with guns, and um, so I took him as a character, and it was kind of there's kind of this funny because that's actually not his job. He doesn't deal with revenants. Oh, by the way, they're not zombies, they're revenants because the CDC was too embarrassed to call them zombies, quite frankly. So they were just like, well, no, we're gonna call them revenants. And
There we go. Oh,
so
we had.
the story kind of. Go ahead, please.
Oh, no. I don't. I definitely don't mean to interrupt. I think we have someone that gives you an idea for your next book because it's ninja zombies,
Oh my God!
right?
Whoa, that is that. Yes, what a fun idea. I mean,
I
you never. Yeah, I haven't seen that. You
I
know,
don't think I have
I
ever
mean, you
seen
have
ninja zombies.
no. You well, you have the you have the George Romero. I call them the Romero class zombies, the Shamblers.
Mhm.
And then you have the Danny Boyle, class zombies who are
Rage zombies.
the fast ones. Yeah, we can run really fast. Um, but as far as ninja zombies, yes, that's a great idea.
I'm liking it.
Love it.
So yes, I did not mean to interrupt. How did this? Please go on about
Uh,
how long the story took.
well, it was kind of interesting because so I borrowed a character from something, and that I thought he would be a good fit for this Agent Lovecraft, who's pretending to be a substitute teacher for the day. It's an easy day, you're just gonna go check it out, make sure that they have all their safety in place in case there's a zombie outbreak or revenant, if you will. So it was supposed to be a nice, smooth day, and then right in the first period, the darn alarm goes off, and he opens up the envelope and finds out that everyone's supposed to go to Soundsville Penitentiary. It was supposed to be someplace else, but he's just like, well, that's where they told us to go. They go out, they jump into a school bus, and um, what was really fascinating about it was the Max. So right at the beginning, you find out that there's a young boy named Max who is. This is actually his second outbreak. He he had been
Second.
in another one. In Yeah, his mother had gotten bitten in the first one and had been one of the first victims. In the first one, this is all just backstory, but so he's an orphan, basically living with his grandmother, and one of the bullies is trying to tease him about, was your mom a revenant? Did you have to put a bullet in her head? Um, but what was kind of main writing of the story was how um, Lovecraft and Max kind of they sort of form an uneasy partnership at first, because he doesn't want to, he needs, Lovecraft needs help. He just, there isn't enough there at the jail. But at the same time, he doesn't want, we blinked for a second. Okay. Um, so it's kind of, it what it really evolved into was the whole thing became about their friendship turning into almost a father-son sort of relationship. And as I wrote the whole thing, everything else kind of fell to the wayside. And I was just like, that's the core of the story is, and I just keep ratcheting up. They have to go to jail, but the old infirmary has been fitted with clean sheets, and there's food sort of, the cheapest I could get. But my mom actually came up with how to describe it as 2 years past the sell-by date, but still good.
Gotcha.
And but what was so, and then things, they have to go from the infirmary into the jail itself and farther, and they keep getting pushed farther along. But at the same time, Lovecraft's an optimist. He's going to try and he tries to keep everyone else's spirits up in these rough times. So, kind of oddly apropos of right now. So, when we're all in a dire straits, when we are in when we're in the infirmary, thankfully it hasn't, gotten worse, knock on wood.
Yeah.
And that you have to believe that, it's going to get better. This too shall pass, and it's hard at times, but Lovecraft works really, that's kind of partly, I think, what he sees as his job, now that I'm thinking about it, is to, keep everyone alive. And part of that is keeping up their will to live,
Very
not
nice.
letting them fall into ennui and despair, because it's easy. I mean, not easy is the right word, but one can fall into despair. It's hard to get out.
Yes.
There's actually a character in there, Reverend Jennings. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about him. So you meet Reverend Jennings kind of early on, and he's sitting in his car, basically wallowing in self, a little bit of self pity, but also like, we're all gonna die. And Lovecraft has a come to Jesus talk with him. So, and because, as he says, anyone else I could let it pass, but I need you to help tell people it's going to be all right. And Reverend Jennings is it going to be all right? He's like, yeah, absolutely. We have shambling zombies outside. We have big thick walls. We're good. And actually, they should have been safe. So, just kind of the unofficial tagline.
I kind of noticed that on the website. Yes. I'll
Yeah.
actually
So they
throw that up here right
please.
now. There we go.
Yeah. WalterGEsselman.com.
Yes.
And there's the fabulous cover. Oh my God. I so love this cover.
Where is it? I saw it. 1 second. Right there.
That's my friend Jason.
They should have been safe.
I made some, yeah, that kind of came out very, very late in the, just in the last couple months. But I thought of it and I went, wow, that's really kind of, had things not gone from, had certain things not happened, and I don't want to spoil too much, but the zombies don't stay shambling. So suddenly there's a lot, to quote Jeff Goldblum, and then there's the running and the screaming. So.
Yep. Jeff can explain anything. Now, Is this line true? And the book comes out tomorrow. No, wait, yesterday.
It yesterday. Yep, it came out yesterday. It is available right now in Kindle form, in ebook, on Amazon. So if you actually just put in Walter Esselman, all my stuff comes right up. That's my awesome family. So
Right
that's okay. You did.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we. Is that a
So
cutout?
they're awesome. Actually, the fellow on the far right, yes, my nephew wasn't there. He's in Grand
Ah,
Rapids at school. So
gotcha.
they did a, but the guy on the far right, that's the one who took my author's photo. So
Oh,
I
very
was
nice.
hugely lucky, because he's amazing eye.
Very
So he
nice.
doesn't have his website up and running yet, or I would, be pushing the heck out of it. So expect it
Gotcha.
on the website as soon as I get the green light from him. I want to have it on there because, you know, usually does animals, which made it a perfect fit for me. He was just like, "Oh yeah, 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 you're."
He's like, I got this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then
And actually, what's funny is, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, you wanted to add more to the story?
The character of Lovecraft. It was really
Hmm.
funny. I kind of wrote this book a few years ago, and I had edited the heck out of it, and then it kind of ended up in a drawer. So I didn't, and I remembered where Lovecraft actually came from. This secret, undercover agent who has no one knows who he is. So his name isn't Lovecraft. It's not Henry Lovecraft. But I was watching. It's actually Peter Dinklage. I was watching Threshold, uh,
Okay.
which probably about 5 people in the world. And at one point, Peter Dinklage is talking about this one of the characters, and he says, "Well, he's a ghost. He's like one of those secret agent guys who has no identity, and no one knows who he is." And I thought, wow, that's fascinating. The idea, kind of like the Men in Black, but I had to move away from that, so that's why they wear gray. So they're kind of the men and women in gray, I guess.
There
Um,
we go.
in a group that's so secret that no one actually knows the real name. So, though they are under congressional control. So,
That is so
uh,
intriguing.
yeah, so that's kind of where so I thought that was brilliant. And so I kind of played with that. I had used him in another story. And then so in the story, he's playing a part in some ways, but that's also just him in other ways. He is pretty courageous, except ghosts. He he is not a ghost person. That is not his bag.
He
So
might he might
monsters,
not want to be
whew,
in this book.
easy.
Yeah. You say
Well,
no,
and
thank you.
actually, that's exactly in the book. At some point, when when it starts to get to the point where it's like, okay, we all talk about what's happening. We got to start dealing with this. He has a bit of a rant about, you know, don't go in the spooky basement. No, 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 no. It's and they're like, or just don't go in the spooky basement. You know.
That's
So
awesome.
actually, that's going to be my signing thing is when I sign the books, God willing. The line will be, "Don't go in the spooky basement." So
Very nice. So I have to ask, how did you
yeah,
decide writing is what you wanted to do?
I don't think I did. I think it was kind of. I mean, I've always been artistic, of different arts type stuff. Um, but I kind of settled on writing. It's actually FX2. going back to movies. It always goes back to movies with me. Always. Um, I went to see FX2 with Brian Brown, Brian Dennehy. Oh, fantastic! It's a really fun movie.
Absolutely.
And this is like 1991, and I came home and I just with this driving thing that I can do this, and I started writing. One of my first characters, Flynn, who's a werewolf, and his brother's a vampire. So I wrote all this stuff about him, and then for the longest time, I really just never published. I just didn't send. I don't like the actual act of having to find someone, send it out. To me, it's all about the creation and that kind of stuff. But
Gotcha.
5 years ago, I decided if I want people to hear my stories, which I did, I have to get off my duff. And, so, of 2015, I started sending out stories, short stories again, and first to Dark Dossier and Apheline. They picked it up kind of pretty quickly, and then I was uh, so one day out of the blue. I'm not sure how I got on David Montoya's radar for World of Myth, but he says, we need submissions. And I said, well, heck, I have a submission. And I sent it in, and he was so glad. And then he found out I wasn't Walter, and I'm sorry, Walter, I'm going to mess up your last name, like Glosarch. Sorry. But who had been a previous contributor to World of Myth back in the day. And so it was just kind of funny moment. And but at the same time, he liked my stories, and I started sending more into World of Myth. And this was like November, and by summer, he was going. Every mid-month, he'd be like, "Hey, man, you got some stories?" I'm
Got one of
like,
them story things.
"Dude, I just need a taste." So, and I was always like, because I had been writing constantly this whole time, so I still have a fairly pile of stuff that a pile of books, screenplays, and short stories that have not been published yet. Um, so I just started sending them in every month, and for the longest time, really up to only recently, I was in every issue of World of Myth.
Very, very nice.
So, and they said, "Do you want?" Yeah, but it was a matter of just knowing that I needed to work on this. I knew what I wanted to do, and I knew I just needed to do it. I want to lose weight, eat less, exercise more. It's sometimes you just have to push yourself and just, well, I don't want to say just do it. Nike might get mad at me, but
But you're right. It's that first step. If you can take that first step, you're well on your way.
it's and being your own, just keeping yourself going. Write what you want, write the stories that you enjoy. Because if it's Saturday night at 10 p.m. and you're editing your work, you want to be at least enjoying what you're doing, or at least what you're reading, as far as I'm concerned.
No,
So,
absolutely. Well, congratulations, Walter. This is huge,
yes,
and I couldn't be happier for you at all.
thank
Nathan
you.
did chime in when you were talking about FX2, and he said, amazing movie. And I agree with him 100%.
Thank you. Yeah, I liked it better than FX1, actually. I thought
I
it was
did too.
really kind of an interesting idea, and and Brian Dennehy's just, I'm so sad we lost Brian Dennehy.
Brian Dennehy is great
He
in
was
any.
just,
I could sit
the
and
man
listen
just
to
doesn't
him
do
read
bad
Dr.
work.
Seuss.
He just, oh gosh, I would listen phone books.
Yeah, and I apologize if I'm talking over you. There seems like there's just a bit of lag between us today. Or he might be frozen completely. I'll stall for a minute, Walter, just in case your feed comes back. I got to throw this up too, though. Nathan also said, life finds a way. No, Jeff. This book's death finds a way. Yes, well said.
I'm happy. The New York.
Oh, he was almost back. Uh-oh. I think we lost Walter.
Nope, I'm back.
There you are. Good. I was stalling.
I needed to change routers, so.
Computers. Yeah, it's a necessary evil now.
So, yeah, it's and I actually have another book coming out later on this year. Oddly, the only two books I have with zombies in it at the moment. But Liberty's Run, and that'll be out later this year. If you check my website, I'm going to keep everyone apprised of everything when it's going to be coming out.
So remember, right there, waltergesselman.com, and all the information will be there for him.
Yep. And actually, if you go to the writer's resume section, it has all live links. So Dark Dossier you pay for, but World of Myth and pretty much everyone else. Though Dark Dossier has great stuff.
There it is. That's number 52. Nice.
Yeah, I was in. I made it. Pretty sure I'm in 50. I think I was like, I have to be in number 50. So
right. That'd be awesome.
It actually kind of got to the point. If you look at my writer's resume section, I don't. There's a lot of stories. I think I figured it was 67 that got published.
Nice.
Oh, and I have a newsletter too. So
I saw that right there.
I'm gonna. You can join the secret and forbidden ethereal order of the Flying Monkeys.
There we go. And that's you can do by signing right at the bottom, right there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I'm making, again, I'm not a social media person, but I'm gonna push myself to really, make some original content for it. Kind of like a Patreon page that you don't have to pay. So, and it comes
very
out
nice
every once in a while.
Oh,
but
Nathan,
yeah, if you go to my, okay, go.
Oh, he just asked, is it Penny Dreadful style?
I never got a chance to read too much Penny Dreadful, but there's a host of different stories. I got horror, light fantasy, sci-fi. Penny Dreadful, there's one in Monsterthology, and two, I think it is, which is my Monster Alley stories. But that one, unfortunately, you have to pay for. You have to buy Monsterthology too.
That's okay. You can check it all out here, waltergesselman.com.
Yep, check out the writer's resume. There's tons of stuff there. Probably more than you'd ever want.
Right there?
Yep. That's Lance Red, a really cool artist. He's on Patreon. And actually, we work together at Borders Books. So,
wow. Look at everything.
So I started keeping track of what I was getting written, just for my own, so I didn't send the same thing to the same person. And so I remembered what I had sent, and luckily I did when I built this site on Squarespace. So, but yeah, and that's not even counting the books, the screenplays.
Very nice.
Screenplays to come. So,
well, once again, congratulations on that win. That is amazing.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Coming from me, that's good because I'm a very sore loser. Okay.
But we're going to have it again. And I'm actually the director of Open Contract Challenge Part 3, Electric Boogaloo.
Excellent. Because see, I think I'm going to follow your lead. I entered this year, didn't get it. And I'm going to enter it next year. Yeah. And that'll be my win. That's the way it works, right?
I can't guarantee. It depends on how it all goes, but I think everyone should take a try. I mean, I am looking for solid characters and good plots, but at the same time, we're our own worst enemies in a lot of ways. That
Oh,
we're like,
big
oh, this is not going to be great. Send it in. If it doesn't
Yep.
work out the first time, everything is a try. You never know what's going to. Liberty's Run. I would love to come back and talk about the creation of Liberty's Run, but that's totally something that was not planned, and I was like, I'll take a try at it, and it's going to be a book this fall.
Yeah, I would
So-
love to get you back on here again.
So yeah, we're but yeah, it's pretty good stuff.
I'm just trying to bring up. There it is. Now I can share this screen. Share screen. Share screen. Boom.
Come on, screen share. Share.
There we go. There is
yes.
Open Contract Challenge website. And there's Walter, number 1.
Yep. I decided I needed. See, I saw her picture, and I was like, oh, I need to up my game. So
Yeah.
she has
Yeah.
and her book is out too. I'm sorry, Gabriella, I can't remember what it's. But if you go to World of Myth, you'll see it there. It's one of the banners at the top. Worth waiting for.
Excellent.
So I haven't had a chance to read it. I'm deeply in the throes of editing Liberty's Run. So it's ready.
Well, Walter, we'll definitely get you back on here.
That's great. And then we can talk movies as well. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Maybe we'll get you on the main show and then we do our top 10 lists.
Ooh, yes. Oh, I'd love to do that. I'm a total movie fanatic. So I grew up I was watching Akira Kurosawa's Yojimbo before I could read subtitles. So
We
my
will
mom-
definitely have you back on then. Absolutely.
It
All
would
right.
be an honor and privilege. Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, Walter. Congratulations. I can't wait to read this. I know as soon as it's in print, I've already told Dave I want one. So
Yeah. Well,
That's
we're
why.
hoping it'll be soon. We're really hoping it'll be. We're experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
that's the good line. That's the good line.
But I'm
Oh.
hoping within the next day or two.
Even Nathan says definitely jump on the main show.
Okay, cool. I would
He
be
does
happy to.
All right. Well, Walter, thanks for being here. I guess this is the end for this one right now, but we will see everybody later on.
To be continued, and I hope you all have a wonderful night. Thank you for letting me visit with you.
Shut up! It's a man!